So I wanted to follow up with a companion message, so to speak, to the video that I did in terms of the topic, adjusting your sale, yet staying the course. And what I shared during that message was about how we have to make adjustments along the way, especially as entrepreneurs and business owners, that the entrepreneurial journey is never a straight line. And sometimes as we're navigating the seas of success, that we have to make the sale adjustment, so to speak. But really, that message could pertain to, anyone who is trying to reach a particular goal, that they have in mind. But I wanted to talk about the selling aspect in adjusting your sale in terms of how you show up as a business owner when you are positioning yourself in the marketplace. And a lot of times, entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs primarily, are very intimidated and even afraid in the sense of talking about selling. And selling is really a way of being. So that's an adjustment that has to be made right off the top, is adjusting your way of being as it relates to selling. And really shifting the mindset and the perspective. You have to up-level your perception in terms of what is it that you're really putting out there. You're here to add value, tremendous value on multiple levels. And yes, that does include positioning yourself with offers and opportunities to increase the value of others so that it gives them that opportunity to invest in themselves at a higher level. So people are making investments in time, and whether that's with articles they read, blog posts, videos, podcasts, whether it's yours or someone else's, they are investing some time, even to look into explore. But you want to have those who come to know, love, and trust you in a way that they can then invest in actual products and services, right? Because when you're in business, you have to have that type of mindset. So that's an adjustment that definitely has to take place as well. We would think that it's obvious that if you're in business, then of course you're here to sell products and goods, right? And add the value to others through that. But for some reason, there's just been this whole bias around selling as it relates to, especially in the online space. And again, as I mentioned, that many entrepreneurs and business owners are really afraid to put themselves out there. And so they have to really adjust themselves, in a sense, and their sale and the art of selling, so to speak, to know that it's a way of beingness. And it's really about the intentionality that you're putting out as you're doing it. And understanding that there is the duality here in terms of, yes, adding tremendous value that you're not looking to make a sale from, but at the same time positioning yourself as a top authority in terms of why people would want to make those types of investments, in you. And again, if you're in business, you have to be about selling, but be about selling in beingness. Have yourself positioned. Even if you're not out trying to really market and advertise, very chronically or on a certain level, you at least need to be in position and do have a system set up in terms of how you can put maybe your advertising or selling on some type of automation that is not over aggressive, in the marketplace. But then at the same time, again, having yourself in position where people can actually know where you are. They can sync up, to the opportunities. But you really do have to make the adjustments. So something I do want to talk about in terms of what you're putting out there at this time. Let's say that you have content or sales ads or so that aren't really doing well. Sometimes you need to make a tweak, make a slight adjustment in how you're showing up. Sometimes consider offering different levels and variations of a sales presentation or just the method that you're using. So an example, like I use YouTube Shorts, and I use YouTube Shorts a lot of times to do lead-ins to a more expanded conversation that I want to have. And so I don't only just edit a short of the video that I've done, I will have kind of a, if you want to call it a precursor or so, that leads people into what the next level is going to be. And I have a short that's around that. So sometimes that's about at least 3 to 5 pieces of many messages that are leading up to a bigger context. Now, why is that? Because different people not necessarily just have different levels of attention span, but they're just different levels of times of reaching them. And sometimes they only have a certain amount of time to listen to something, but also too, maybe that's all they need to hear. It's just a hook or just a little something. And then some need a more expanded, type of conversation, so to speak. But you just have to be able to make some adjustments. So yeah, that is making some shifts and adjustments from not just doing a one-off type of marketing initiative. Being able to be sensitive to the different levels of how people connect and what they need. And so making some simple adjustments and tweaks to how you're showing up. Now, in my case, as I'm doing the shorts, in a sense, I'm actually not positioning for a sale, so to speak, but I'm using this as an example because even in blog posts or your advertising, so to speak, you can do just mini bite size of it and then have something that's more cohesive or comprehensive, so to speak, to reach the different levels of individuals. So yes, does it take maybe a little bit more time? Yeah, kind of and no, because if you are taking, let's say, 5 minutes to write copy anyway, well, think about in 5 minutes how you can write the 5-minute piece and then go back in and take bits and pieces out and make those into little bullets or so for lead-ins. And so maybe you did take 2 extra minutes or 3 extra minutes or even maybe 5 extra minutes or so. But how it can pay off for you in terms of adding those different levels of values would be tremendous. And you would be amazed. So as I mentioned before, start adjusting. This whole concept about selling is selling being a way of beingness. Okay, instead of something that you are just actively doing, so to speak. When you know that you are here to add tremendous value and you do have offers and opportunities that can help other people to get to the next level, then you definitely have to adjust your way of beingness and how you're showing up. Make a tweak in the marketing copy or so, or just the way that you are positioning the selling aspect or the offer, the opportunity. And if it's not in terms of the marketing copy, then let's make a sales adjustment, so to speak, to the actual sale itself, the actual offer, the actual opportunity itself. Nothing wrong with it, but maybe it wants another dimension to come out of value. Or maybe there is a little subtle tweak that you need to make. Maybe you need to take one component out of the offer and the opportunity and position it as a standalone. So these are just things to think about, and then maybe come back in, offer it as a cohesive, type of opportunity. But just kind of explore and be sensitive to how what you're doing is here to make an impact for sure, but the way that it makes an impact, and maybe there's different dimensions of how it wants to be showcased to reach a variety of different people, at different levels, different buy-in levels, so to speak. So just think about that as you are adjusting, your sale of navigating the seas of success and adjusting your selling position. So I'm going to do more talks around this, and I actually do have opportunities for others to level up, in that way. And you can learn more about that in the description below. And I also have links to my previous talk, the companion talk, so to speak. So that can be motivation and empowerment for you. So I look forward to sharing more on this topic soon.